I've been getting a lot of questions through on Tumblr about exercise and nutrition, what I do, and honestly I figured I'd start this channel because I feel like there's a lot of wrong information out there, or information just not, it could be more beneficial. I know when I started a few years ago it was all a bit overwhelming and I sort of believed anything I saw, and it knocked me back a bit when I realised, the stuff I thought was right was actually wrong. I don't even know if this is going to take off or not because obviously it's new, so if you are interested, subscribe so I know if this is worth pursuing. This is just going to serve as a very brief introduction. I tried to film one yesterday and I went into far too much detail and it can be a bit overwhelming, especially to new people, so we're just going to start off with a few basics and then we'll go from there. So my first point is goals. Before you even think about starting, you need to have a goal in mind. While sometimes it's good to have an ultimate goal, incremental and realistic goals are better. So if you consider yourself obese, for example, I don't recommend the mindset of, I want to look like Ryan Reynolds in 3 weeks. Great if that's your definitive goal, but I don't recommend, take it step by step. Which brings me to my next point. Have a little patience. It's a very long process. What sometimes tends to happen is people spend 7 hours on the cross trainer each day, waste all their money on supplements, and I'll go into supplements on another video if there's enough interest, and they wonder why they're not seeing enough progress. Whatever your goals are, they're not going to happen overnight. While a lot of you are obviously like, duh, it's good to call BS on some of the, shortcuts. Get abs in 7 days, 50 pounds of muscle in a month. If it was so easy, the results wouldn't be so satisfying. I'd also like to point out, if you're looking at putting on muscle, it's physically impossible to put on more than a pound of muscle in a week. Even a pound is very impressive. Anything more in that time period is likely fat and probably not beneficial. It's a bit disheartening to hear at first, but you really should be going in this, practical, just facts. My next point I explained a little just then, but skepticism. Like I said earlier, when I first started, I believed anything I heard or saw. It's good to back up information with a few credible sources. I know this is awful coming from a new face here and that, but I promise right now to never knowingly tell, incorrect truth. Incorrect truth? What is that? I don't know. I'm only here to help. Next point is to the ladies out there. A lot of you are probably saying, I want to tone up, but I don't want to bulk and get men muscles. Women are built differently than men. Women have a lot less testosterone in their body and it's a lot harder to add muscle mass. So you're not going to end up like Arnold Schwarzenegger overnight. It takes a lot longer. I went to an exposition a few months ago and there were women who trained all their life and they're toned. You get a better mindset. Posture, balance, flexibility, you'll likely age better, live longer, the advantages are just endless, and you'll get an amazing ass from squatting. Don't worry, basically. Next point, nutrition is just as important as exercise. You're not going to achieve anything if you go into this with a poor diet. If this takes off, obviously I'm going to start by looking at nutrition because I think you need to look at that first. You may have heard the phrase, abs are made in the kitchen. That is true. Your diet and exercise, they complement each other. So like I say, if this takes off, we'll look at that first thing, see what foods are best, and how best to achieve your goals. My last point for today is positive attitude. I'm very guilty of this one. I tend to look at other people and think, why don't I look like that? And it gets me down. So I'm recommending you adopting the mindset of, I can't wait to look like that. It really helps positive attitude. I just think with the right amount of positivity, anything is possible. It's really hard for me not to go into detail about something, but I know if I start talking about something, I'll start talking about something else. Like I said, this is just a very brief introduction, just so you know what you're getting yourself into and making sure you're ready. So, if this was an ice cream, we wouldn't even be eating it, we'd just be admiring the packaging. Subscribe up there, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Have a great day.